We may be witnessing the beginning of an era that will mean the complete annihilation of man.
Annihilation?
The beginning of the end.
Johnny, just recently a young black man in the US has died from injuries he received from 5 police officers who were attempting to arrest him for some sort of minor traffic violation. Do you think racism had anything to do with this, Johnny? Race-based? Oh, I don't know, Johnny, it was one of the most tragic things you could ever wish upon any bloody family.
We begin today's show in Memphis, Tennessee. On Thursday, 5 fired police officers were arrested and charged with murder and kidnapping in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols, 29-year-old African-American man. Nichols died on January 10th of kidney failure and cardiac arrest, 3 days after his violent arrest following a traffic stop. His family shared a shocking photo of Tyre from his hospital bed shortly before he died.
Holy shit! Well, all I can say is imagine the bloody outcry if they'd been white police officers. But that doesn't take away the fact, Johnny, that 5 police officers, reasonably well-educated men, you would think, thought it was a good idea to pull this bloke over. So, Johnny, are you saying that the cops should just, with dubious cause, just for a bloody minor traffic violation, or were they just going to be smart, pull him over and just let things get wildly out of hand? I mean, well, I suppose that's true enough. I mean, have a look at this, and a bit of a warning, there is some swearing and violence in this particular body cam sequence. Now, Johnny, this young bloke was eventually caught by the same 5 police officers that had pulled him over. He was handcuffed, thrown on the ground, then beaten, kicked, dragged around into unconsciousness before he had to go to hospital, where he eventually died. Holy shit!
Everyone's condemned the footage of the beating death of Tyre Nichols by 5 black cops, including even Barack Obama and Donald Trump.
First, growing calls for justice in the horrific death of Tyre Nichols. Now, of course, this gut-wrenching case will be adjudicated in a court of law, rightfully so, but many on the left know just who to blame and what to blame. White supremacy. According to them, the 5 African-American cops that allegedly beat Nichols to death are racist participants in a deeply bigoted system, and that is the narrative.
Can they still be racist? It's hard to say, because they and the victims are black.
But why the hell would you pull someone over for so-called reckless driving and then end up in a situation like that?
Earlier today, Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis told CNN she has seen no evidence police even had a legitimate reason to stop Nichols' vehicle.
Should you be pulled over by cops for doing fuck all and get dragged out of your car? But Johnny, the police just seem so blasé about this, it makes you wonder how much of this is going on in the US every night where the person may not be killed, obviously not, but beaten the shit out of, and the media doesn't even report on it. Yeah, well, I don't think it's an isolated incident, Johnny. This sort of shit, it appears, probably goes on every night. This bloke here's got a good take on it.
They say, well, we don't understand the broader context about what happened before. Folks, I get that. That applies to any situation in life. If you see a guy on the street corner mugging a woman, the context before could have been his wife left him and he was upset. That doesn't change the fact that he mugged a woman. Context is fine. It helps us think in narratives and stories. It helps us put together the why. Okay, maybe these cops, beforehand they were at a really horrible scene and they were in a bad place mentally. Okay, fine. Maybe that explains kind of the why, but it doesn't excuse anything. It doesn't excuse anything. There was no effort to de-escalate this situation at all.
Are they overworked? Are they underpaid? Or is there too much pressure in the job? But that's still no excuse to do that. I think the country's in a very shitty state of affairs. So are you saying, Johnny, it's a fundamental fault of the country itself? And this may be just a reflection of that shittiness. Well, I suppose that's true enough.
Born free as the wind.